Welcome to another CPG webinar, a service of CPG Matters. I'm your host, John Karolefski. Thank you for joining us. Today we're talking about smart shoppers. 9 out of 10 women consider themselves to be smart shoppers, but they aren't all alike. After a brief introduction to All You magazine, we'll be sharing some groundbreaking research. You'll learn the myths and realities that unite shoppers, as well as the beliefs and behaviors that distinguish them. So how can brands connect those insights to strategies to better connect with smart shoppers? Joining me to answer that question and more is Suzanne Quint, publisher of Time Inc.'s All You, the only content brand dedicated to serving smart shoppers. Now this webinar is interactive. If you have questions along the way, please type them in the box in the lower left of your screen. We'll be posting some questions for you to answer as well. And finally, at the end of the program, please take a brief survey. 5 survey takers will win a $100 gift card from such retailers as Amazon, Target, and others. So, without further ado, here is Suzanne Quint.
Thank you, John. I'm delighted to be here this afternoon presenting All You's latest shopper and consumer insight study, Unveiling the Many Faces of Smart Shopping. And I think we have a great group assembled today, and I think that really speaks to the fact that smart shopping is truly a national movement. It's the new normal, and I'm here to tell you all that it's here to stay. Smart shopping will continue to be a powerful force in how women make purchasing decisions. So at All You, as a leader of the smart shopping movement, we felt it was critical for our own business as well as for our clients and partners to get a deeper and really a much deeper understanding of the attitudes, beliefs, and motivations of smart shoppers to make all of us smarter about how we do our business. Now, before we dive into the research, for those who are not familiar with All You, and I know there are quite a few, just 2 quick slides. All You has been leading the smart shopping movement for the past 10 years. We are the only content brand that is created specifically for smart shoppers. We are a Time Inc. brand which was launched to serve this market whose needs were previously unmet. And our mission, our mantra is to help women enjoy life for less through a really unique combination of relevant content as well as shopping tools, lists, coupons, deals, and all sorts of activations. In recognition of the growing strength of this market, All You is the 4th fastest growing magazine industry-wide. We are available via subscription and at retail. All You is the #1 selling magazine at Walmart. And of course, that makes sense given our content focus. And as of just this past June, we are now also available at retailers such as Publix, Kroger, Target, Dollar General. And of course, All You can be found across our platforms, allyou.com, mobile, and our social platforms as well. And one of the things that we've learned about smart shopping at All You is that smart shoppers are super shoppers. Sometimes folks who are not close to this market don't intuitively get there, but they're chasing value across retail locations. And indeed, the All You audience shops everywhere more than anyone else. Of course, we are #1 as a content brand for shopping at Walgreens. We also are #1 for shopping at Walmart. We are also #1 for shopping at Walgreens, at Kohl's, and our readers and audiences love to shop at locations such as Kroger, Target, Crate & Barrel, and lots of online locations as well, which will clearly be supported by the research. And that takes us to our first poll question.
Okay, the first question is, how many different retailers do you shop per week? And that could be you, a spouse, your household. And the choices are 0 to 1, 2 to 4, or 5 or more. So make your choice and hit submit, and we'll see what the results are, and Suzanne will analyze.
All right. Well, we're up over 50. And I'm going to skip to the results here. Okay, so with this group, we're showing that 76% shop at 2 to 4. I mean, virtually no one is saying they shop at 0 to 1. And near 20% saying they shop at 5 or more. Symphony IRI data shows that for grocery items alone, women are shopping at 5+ retailers on a regular basis. So we see the dynamic that exists out there overall, and then thinking about smart shoppers in particular chasing value and really upping their willingness to shop across retailers. So with that, we'll go into the study. And the legacy of All You has always been rooted in understanding the consumer, who for us is this smart shopper. And basically what we recognized is that there was a lot of generalization going on out there through the media, portraying smart shoppers as a body of extreme couponers or stockpiling crazy ladies. We knew from being close to this consumer that that did not fully define her, and that there was an opportunity and a need to better understand her and understand the different dimensions and segments of her. So we conducted this study. It's a national study. I want to say it's not just All You readers. We did it with a partner, a third-party research partner, to paint this vivid picture of the different types of shoppers across the country. It was an online survey. We spoke to 2,600 women nationally, and we gained insight around the truths and half-truths of smart shoppers and the segments within. And before we jump to reveal the findings, let's start to look at what prompted the smart shopping movement. And of course, the top left, the crashing economy, the consumer debt. In 2008, the economy changed drastically. And because of this today, even the most affluent of consumers and shoppers have recalibrated their orientation towards shopping. And today, everyone wants to be a smart shopper. But equally as important, in the top right, is the accessibility to more information and tools. The profusion of technology, during this same time period, smartphones, laptops, tablets, that enabled consumers with smart shopper information at their fingertips, to research purchases in advance, to plan, to comparison shop while they're in store. So the economy drove the change, but technology enabled it and made smart shopping easier. And that is really why it's not turning back, and why 9 out of 10 women in our study said even if the economy got significantly better, they would not return to their prior spending and shopping habits. You throw into the mix the rise of daily deals, and America went Groupon and living social crazy, and the influence of pop culture, which we see here on the next page. This is something that I found in my airport reading. Stars love smart shopping, and you see here Gwen Stefani, Britney Spears at Target. You've got Nick Lachey at Costco. You've got JWoww at the dollar store. When celebrities get caught in the act, it absolutely inspires and validates women and the movement. And in this country now today, we have a First Lady who's proud to shop, at stores like Target. And that really sends a signal to consumers and to shoppers.
I have a question that just came in, Suzanne. Would like to know what demographic, if any, is not smart shopping, and what's the difference about them?
It's a great question, and we're definitely going to get into that when we get into the different segments. But I will tell you that this study shows, and it's consistent with any study I've ever seen that touches on, that it's not defined by demographics. And that every demographic, certainly every income demographic, is interested in shopping smart. We talked a little bit about smart shopping. The smart shopper's lifeline is technology. Smart shoppers and technology are intrinsically linked. Their laptops, phones, their tablets, their #1 Smart Shopper tools and their tool belts. It's for them, it's more about staying in touch and keeping organized. These are tools that simply help them save money, and in many cases, time and money. So you see here, 78% of shoppers say that shopping online fits my busy schedule. Again, 78% use their smartphone to actively look for deals. It's a crazy index of 557 versus the general population. And all the way on the bottom here, almost 1 in 10 smart shoppers use a smartphone or tablet before making a purchase while shopping in store. These women are really device junkies. I found in my travels that that's not always where people get naturally, but when you start explaining how technology is an important tool in helping them to save money easily, then people really start to understand that, and then you can start to think about how to apply that to your marketing strategies. And here's just a slide showcasing some of the many, many digital tools that have taken off and really created this behavior. Everything from Shopkick to Retail Me Not to blogs, Living Social, Amazon Prime, videos where consumers are posting and talking about their shopping hauls or great products trying, certainly Facebook and Pinterest, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Another overall insight about smart shoppers is that sharing goes hand in hand with smart shopping. From our study, 73% of smart shoppers are on social media via mobile every day. And just bringing in the number of, showcasing an example here from Walmart. Walmart has over 30 million Facebook likes. I don't think that's an accident. I mean, I think everyone would say that Walmart's done a really great job of cultivating their social platforms and audiences, but I think there's more to it than that. I think that so we're going to look at the rumors and realities of smart shoppers. Mm-hmm. And the first rumor that you hear all the time and that we hear all the time is that smart shoppers are cheap. Mm-hmm. The reality is, and we started to talk about this, smart shoppers cannot be distinguished demographically. All types of women want quality products for less. For example, 40% of smart shoppers have a household income of $75,000 or more, and this pretty much sums it up here. 68% of smart shoppers shop smarter because I want to, not because I have to. The second rumor, smart shoppers have no brand loyalty. Reality, smart shoppers buy brands they love whenever possible. And I think this defines it. These two circle stats here, 91% of smart shoppers define smart shopping as finding brand names at a discounted or sale price. So women are looking to employ smart shopping to buy the brands that they love. The third rumor.
A question from in, Suzanne. Now, dialing back to using media while shopping, the question is, how is social media used in the stores while shopping, if at all?
Oh, it's definitely used in the stores while shopping. I would say that this study didn't delve deeply into that, although there was some data that we could follow up in terms of using it in the stores to research products. Using it in the stores to research products. And what I know from working in this market for now 10 years is the only thing women love about more than getting a good deal is sharing that they got a good deal. Mm-hmm. And doing it typically from a place of wanting to help one another. Whether it's groceries or beauty products, oh my God, head over to Walgreens. There's a great special on this, and you can match it up with this and get that. Use your CVS Extra Care points. It is one of the most actively shared topics. Savings, deals, coupons, the most actively shared topics on Facebook, for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We had another question that perhaps you'll touch upon later, Suzanne, but it says that regarding demographics, have you come across studies that reveal that millennials in particular don't have brand loyalty? And will you be addressing that later?
I won't be in this study, and I don't think that we didn't focus in on millennials in this study in particular. Mm-hmm. So that won't be one that I'll be able to address.
Okay.
Okay. And the last rumor, and this gets to what we were talking about, is that smart shoppers operate on the down low. And the reality is that smart shoppers are loud and proud of their savvy decisions. The down low, maybe in 2003, that's how people were acting. But in 2010 and 2013, women really are proud to be smart shoppers and to share that. And here actually is a great stat. 88% of women say getting a good deal is something worth bragging about. 78% here. It's not about showing off what I bought. It's about how I bought it and what I saved. And in fact, while it is, of course, about saving money, even more so, it's about the feeling that women get from being smart and empowered and doing right by their money and their finances. So here's some fun stats that really exemplify that. 90%, 9 in 10 women say, if I became a millionaire.
Okay, we lost Suzanne again. So 90%, if I became a millionaire tomorrow, I would still hunt for deals. As we see, 82%, the thrill of saving is addictive.
And then I'm sure you've all been drawn to this 56%. I would give up sex for 6 months to save $2,500. I did not make this up, and I have double-checked the data. And this is what smart shopping women across America have agreed with. So we thought it would be fun to jump to the next poll question.
Yeah, the next poll question, I guess, is for anybody who's multitasking during the webinar. Would you give up sex for 6 months to save $2,500? Yes or no? And I guess you can use the question box to lower or raise that number. But please answer and submit.
And we will not be able to see who answered what on this question.
No, we will not.
They'll be definitely anonymous. Okay, we do have questions coming in. All right, we are up over 60, so I am going to the results. And, okay, not as high as the women in the study as expected. I think we have probably quite a few men out there skewing us here. But we are showing that 33% of the people on this call would give up sex for 6 months to save $2,500. I got to make note of that. Okay. All right, so now we're coming to the biggest rumor of them all, that smart shoppers are all the same. The reality is, no, they are not. While 9 out of 10 women in America today consider themselves to be smart shoppers, and by the way, that's over 107 million smart shoppers, that's where the similarities end. And now it's time to meet the smart shopping segments. So we're looking here at the total population of smart shoppers. And let's start here in the orange, 38%. The first segment are the savers. And their mantra is, saving money is part of my DNA. The next segment here, clockwise in fuchsia, are the strategic splurgers. Almost an equal number of them, and their playbook is, I decide where I save time and money, and it's my little secret. And coming up here in green, our emergent segment, the committed converts, and their mantra, I'm learning the skills to save so I can spend.
So a question or comment came in, Suzanne. So are you saying that as a brand, the only way to get smart shoppers' attention is by discounting?
Oh, I'm absolutely not saying. And I think when we go through the segments, you'll get a clearer picture of how to appeal to the different segments, and happy to answer some more nuanced questions on that at the end. Okay. And did I also, okay.
We had a flurry of questions here, and if you can be addressing them after or now. One is, how do you quantify a person to be a smart shopper?
Yeah, great question. We ask people to self-identify themselves. Do you consider yourself to be a smart shopper? We did not define it for them. Okay. But important to note, ask them to rate themselves on a 5-point scale, and that 9 out of 10 relates to people who picked 4 or higher 5 on that 5-point scale that self-identify themselves as smart shoppers.
Okay, and here's another question. How would those segments look prior to the economic downturn?
I don't know for sure, because this is not a trending study that we've done. But I will tell you that as we go through the segments, you'll see, well, first of all, the whole pie would be smaller. Mm-hmm. There would be less people overall. And I think the newest segment is the green segment, the convert. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be a smaller piece of the pie. And perhaps the strategic splurger as well, because she really is hinged on making it easy. And that takes us to the next slide. So take a little bit of a deeper look at what defines these segments. And we're going to spend some time on each of these to give some dimension here. And as we mentioned earlier, how they're not different demographic. It's not about their income, where they live, whether or not they're married, whether they have kids. What defines the segments is breeding and behavior. So on this y-axis, we have breeding. And by that we mean, were they raised this way by their mom, born and bred, or living and learning the ropes on their own as they go along. On the x-axis, we have behavior. Is it about being expert and using all of the tools possible and putting in the maximum time and effort to get the maximum rewards? Or is it more important to the consumer to make it easy? Yes, I want to save, but I want it to be as quick and easy as possible. And if you plot them according to this criteria, you can see that the super saver was raised this way and is willing to put in the time and effort to use all of the tools. The strategic splurger also was raised this way, but is very much that balance between money and time. And then the committed convert is the person who wasn't raised this way and had a factor sort of kick them into this behavior, and more on that to come, and is willing to put in some for sure, but not as much as the super saver.
So here's an interesting question along those lines. While some smart shoppers say they look for name brands at the best price, are they willing to buy whatever name brand is on sale? Is it more about the deal than about the specific brand?
The question is it more about the deal or the specific brand, and will smart shoppers be I think it depends on the segment, and I think it depends on the depth of their affinity with a particular brand. So I think by and large, they're looking for strategies to buy the brands they love at the best possible price, but I think that behavior is heightened for the brands they feel really strongly for.
Sure.
I think that, and we've had panel consumers at various events and in-house, and we talk to them about the brands that are important to them, and you will hear them each speak about a list of whatever it is, 5 or 10 brands that they're going to remain loyal to as much as possible. But I think then everyone has those brands that are the middle ground that they'll be more willing to make a switch on.
Makes sense.
Okay, so let's have some fun and go through the 3 profiles in a little bit more depth. And we thought it would be fun if everyone thought about which segment that they personally fall into when we go through this. So the first segment, as we talked about, is the super saver. We're personifying this.
Okay, we're on the super saver again. Who is she? 82% people always want my shopping advice. Very confident, sets the bar high for herself, sacrificing now to save for her family's future, gets the best bang for her buck, a shopping resource for others, and feels she should share with others. See on the slide that born and bred is taught by the master, her mom. And the economy, of course, helped her realize she can live a happy life on a budget, especially with the economic downturn that we're not completely out of yet. 96% saving money is a badge of honor, and that I'm curious to see how that would have compared to 10 years ago. Probably it's a lot higher. Claire Dunphy, Modern Family, a premeditated shopper, does her homework and pre-calculates the bill. Looking for deals is worth her time. She shares and brags about good deals and takes pride in being a smart shopper. Okay, you can see on the smartphone in the graphic there that 92% check for deals online before they go shopping. 87% open deal emails. That's interesting. 62% visit deal sites every day. That's a little higher than I thought it would be. And 54% read blogs for shopping tips. That's about what I thought it would be for smart shoppers. And that'll probably only increase. Okay, the next slide here. The strategic splurger. The mantra, I decide where I save time and money, and it's my little secret. Okay, who is she? 65% appearance is a status symbol. Likes finding deals, doesn't want to be seen doing it, secretive, I guess. Buys luxury brands and tends to splurge. Goes out of her way to impress others. Okay. Shops online to save time and save face, not cutting corners like my parents, not like mom. Shopping attitudes, interesting. 6 out of 10, loyal to brands regardless of price. 64%, 2 out of 3 will spend more to save time. Doesn't want to be seen using a coupon. Tends to shop on impulse. Uses credit cards to buy things she can't afford, but reaps the benefits of rewards. Thinks smart shopping is overwhelming, but still practices it. Becky Bloomwood, Confessions of a Shopaholic. And we can see on the smartphone there that 2 out of 3, about 67%, rather browse online than in the store. Big challenge for the brick and mortar guys. 83% shop online before I can get a good price, or because I can get a good price, rather. A little more than half, 58%, I am so over getting daily deals in my inbox. And also a little more than half, 53%, finds it tough to compare deals on their phone. Interesting. Okay, moving ahead to the committed convert, another smart shopper profile. Who is she? 96%. Shopping smarter allows me to buy for my family. And the pieces there, the economy pushed her to shop smarter. No surprise there. Rarely has time for herself. Her kids are her first priority. Committed family person. Loves being a mom, but tries to preserve her identity by spending more herself, too. Okay, mantra, I'm learning the skills to save so I can spend. Interesting philosophy. Okay, self-made, smart shopper. The current economy has inspired me to shop smart. I made cutbacks to save money. Shopping attitude, 85% good deals helps justify my spending. Liz Lemon, 30 Rock, helps her take care of her family without compromising the kids' necessities. Gets a thrill from finding ways to get more stuff for the same value. And likes using coupons. And on the smartphone, we can see the various points there. 98% check for deals online to buy. Very, very high. 3 out of 4, 76% use the smartphone to comparison shop. And 87% I forward deals to friends and family. 82% I read online reviews from other shoppers. Okay, moving on to the next slide, which is a poll again, a poll question. What type of smart shopper do you identify with? This again could be you or a spouse or your household if you know their shopping habits. 1 is the super saver, 2 the strategic splurger, 3 the committed convert. And as you recall, we explained what those were earlier. So please vote and hit submit, and we'll check the results. Okay, get the last folks voting. We'll skip to the results now. Okay, we've got almost half, 48.8%, consider themselves to be strategic splurgers, followed by 1 out of 3, the committed convert, and 18.2%, the super saver. So we've got half being strategic splurger, which is very interesting. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Okay, shop more and spend more to find value. Okay, we see the figures here, spending category, and we have a comparison between the general population, the super saver, strategic splurger, and committed convert. And don't forget the listing you put yourself in the previous slide. So for grocery, general population is $354, and that compares across the board there from a high of $500 for the strategic splurger, down to the super saver at $492, and then bringing up the end is the committed convert. For fashion, general population, $75, and again, the strategic splurger heads the list with $127, followed by the super saver again, and then the committed convert, $83. And the last category, beauty, $24 general population, and strategic splurger, $54, super saver, $39, and the committed convert, $36. So you can see that the voting there, or the stats, follow a pattern where strategic splurger is always on top, the committed convert is always on top.
Oh my gosh.
And
John?
Back. I am back. You are
Can
back.
you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh my God, there was a great sale over at Saks, so I had to run over.
You are a strategic splurger.
I am so sorry. When I undid the headset, that happened, and thank you, John. You actually had the most challenging slides in the presentation to cover, so thank you for doing that so
anything
ably.
I can do, no problem.
So ably, and I think you guys got the picture. That's a super saver. She's using all of the tools. She's premeditated. She's proud. They're all using technology a lot, and the strategic splurger, it is, John, I think I heard you say the word secretive. She is not the person with, the key ring with the, all of the different fobs on there for all of her different loyalty clubs, showcasing that to the world. She's doing a ton of online shopping because it saves her time. She's researching everything, letting her, her computer do the walking instead of her feet, and because it's more covert for her. And she is very brand conscious in this group. And then that group of committed converts, and I want to stand by what I said earlier, that this group does not have a higher percentage of moms than the other groups. However, she views things through the lens of being a mom. So this is the group of women where the current economy likely is, or a life stage factor, becoming a mom, has spurred her into action. And she's really using smart shopping as a way to take care of her household. Maybe she decided to stop working. Maybe she decided to stay home more. She wants to save on her groceries so she can take her kids to Great Adventure that weekend. It's that kind of a thinking in this group. And not terribly surprised to see from our poll amongst our audience in this group that strategic splurgers are coming out ahead. And I think I saw a question come through in terms of extreme couponers. The extreme couponers that everyone thinks of would almost definitely fall into the super saver segment. And that's, a lot of the point. That's what people think of when they think about smart shoppers, but look at not just our group, but look at the data from the study overall. If you're not thinking more broadly about smart shoppers, you're missing out on a lot of the audience. And thank you, John, for ably explaining how, in fact, smart shoppers do not spend less. They shop more, they spend more, and they also share more. We talked about that.
Sure. We had a series of questions also relating to the slides. It says that reference respondents over daily deals. What do you see for the future of daily deals?
I think that for the future of daily, clearly it was a phenomenon. That took place, what was that, starting 3 or 4 years ago. And I do think that it, in large part, democratized savings and brought it, across all groups of people, and it is responsible for that. I think that daily deals will still have a role going forward, but that consumers, the data does show, I don't know if we have it in there, that there is a large group of consumers that are over daily deals. So I think that your super savers who are willing to use all the tools and wade through all of that will continue to be committed to them. And I think for your other groups, they're going to be selective about how they spend their time. And if it's, if you're a mom and a daily deal list like Red Plum provides relevant value for you, then you'll stick with that, but you're not going to be getting 6 different daily deal emails going forward.
Here's an interesting question. If 9 of 10 women in the survey self-identified as smart shoppers, then are those 90% of women being indexed against the remaining 10% in the study or against another group of shoppers?
They're being indexed against the remaining 10%, but let me say that this study, whom we went out to, was a nationally representative group of national consumers. So there were no biases in the initial group that we went out to. Okay. And then 9 out of 10 of the people selected themselves into the smart shopper group.
All right, another question, do smart shopper profiles change depending on type of purchase?
The study didn't specifically address that, but I believe they do. I believe that some people are super savers in one area of their life and more strategic splurgers in another area of their life. Okay. I think we can all relate to that personally. I think that they can, although I think that they're over, and I think I saw some people saying, I feel like I fit a little bit in one and a little bit in another. But through going through all of the attitudinal and behavioral segments, and there were many, many battery of questions that the study respondents needed to answer. By going through all of those, what rose to the top in terms of creating themes of different segments of shoppers, bucketed them into these 3 buckets.
Okay, moving along.
Okay. So finally and importantly is how should this impact your marketing strategy? And we are going to leave you with 4 things for you to think about. The first is to curry favor and elevate your brand through campaigns that get her and her smart shopping sensibility. And from representing this market for many years now, I know, and perhaps that's why some of you are on the line, that there are companies, there are brands, there are stakeholders that aren't yet acknowledging this market. And so this is really just a baseline. I mean, you need to acknowledge that this is a market, this is a behavior, it's not going away. And while I know that she's being acknowledged more and more, she's not being acknowledged unilaterally. And it's important for companies to do so. And I think that the data has shown that this is a behavior that, by and large, she feels really good about doing. So it's an opportunity to be very positive And so we've included this example from Kraft Cool Whip. They launched this frosting product back in January. And this is from All You, the campaign that they ran. And their campaign was about making any moment a special moment. And look at their advertising creative on the right. So good, you'll look for reasons to celebrate. And again, this was within All You magazine, so an audience of smart shoppers. And what are they celebrating? Took it back without a receipt. And I tell you, that rang true with me personally and as the publisher of All You. And what a positive message to put in our environment. And then Cool Whip took it up a notch by having All You's community of real women. Let me just get my pointer back. By having All You's community of real women, 97% of All You readers would recommend Cool Whip frosting. The community of real women credentialed Cool Whip's product claims. And, not only would they recommend it, they wanted to communicate that it's so easy to spread. And that's all in here in the reader quotes and the reader credentials in here. So a great example of a campaign that showed that it got her and made her feel great. The next strategy is to get great value out of your campaign. You want to educate her. You want to create awareness like you do with any media campaign. But with this audience, you also do want to activate her. And someone asked earlier, I think, about do you have to offer a discount or a low price? No, not always. And in some cases, it's about making her feel special and about employing loyalty. In this case, what Cool Whip did, they continued to educate. They showed some recipes, ideas for using their product. Which also helps to activate, gives the consumer, the shopper, an idea for purchasing that product right there. And then, and this is actually a cover flap that ran off of the front cover of All You. On one side were the recipes, and on the other side was a shopping list for the cupcakes. And of course, the first ingredient is the Cool Whip frosting. Important to Cool Whip to let consumers know that for this Cool Whip product, it's in the freezer aisle, so activating her in that way. Another example of educating and activating, this is a custom special issue of All You on one theme, health and wellness. Bear owned this issue of All You 100%, and it is all about educating the consumer around health and wellness. It was on sale in Walmart stores and really helped them own the theme and educate consumers. And then in terms of activating, Bear used the issue as a way to, what I say, experience up their display and to dimensionalize their offering in store. So instead of just going to their buyer and then the consumer with a display that had product on it, they could really build out that story with a content piece that linked beautifully to the Bear product that they have on the display. So educating and activating, in this case through an All You special issue sold exclusively at Walmart. The next marketing strategy is to employ a multi-channel campaign to effectively reach these shoppers, delivering value in-store and online. And again, I think, most people are thinking about doing integrated multi-platform campaigns. But I think with this shopper in particular, given the importance of digital tools to her, it's that much more important to be employing a multi-channel campaign. And here are some examples right here. On the right, we have Grocery Circular Roundup. This is actually an online and mobile shopping list builder. It helps women build her list based on what's on sale at the stores she typically shops at. So a great digital integration. And I love this example from All You. All of the issues are now available on tablet. All of the issues on tablet are fully shoppable, editorial content, and advertising. So here's an example where Oxy, a brand that does a great job of messaging value, could have their ad drive to for the product to be purchased at Target.com or Walmart.com or Amazon.com or whatever was important to them. And as we're all hearing, multi-channel retailing is becoming more and more important in closing that loop between brick and mortar and e-commerce. And so thinking about your campaigns in a way that signals to the consumer that we're there to be bought wherever you want to buy us. And the last marketing strategy that we'd like to leave with you is to leverage her power as a social influencer. Again, this audience really, really wants to share. The data that I was referring to earlier was some data that we had seen on the most shared types of content. And number one was family photos. Number two was, I forget what it was called, but it was something like silly videos. It's basically all, the crazy cat videos and all of that. And the third most commonly shared type of content, deals, savings, coupons. So this audience is highly social. You want to leverage her power as a social influencer who can create consumer demand for your product, and she will be happy to be your greatest brand advocate. I think that's a reason why All You has been successful, because we do leverage real women's voices throughout our content and all of our brand platforms, because real women want to know what other real women are finding helpful and products that are working and brands that are a great fit for them. Just this past year, we launched the search for America's Smartest Shopper. That's right. We have American Idol. We have America's Next Top Model. So we figured, why not America's Smartest Shopper? It was a video contest where we got entries from women and one man across America. And in its initial year, it garnered 198,000 votes and had a social reach of 1.8 million. So that's everything that I have prepared to share, but I could see there's been questions coming in. I'm happy to answer them now and get back to you with anything that I don't have handy.
Sure. Suzanne, because we're respectful for people's time and we're closing in on the 1 hour time that they committed for this webinar, perhaps a couple of folks who provided questions can direct them directly to you via your email. And you can see on the screen right now to reach Suzanne. For more information about All You can contact her by email at Suzanne_Quint@allu.com, or you can call her directly at 212-522-8748. And for more information about CPG Matters, you can go to www.cpgmatters.com. Now, so you can direct your question directly to Suzanne. Please stand by after we close the program and take a very brief survey that will appear on your screen when we log out of the webinar. And again, 5 survey takers will be randomly selected and will receive a $100 gift card to such retailers as Amazon, Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, and others. So any closing thoughts, Suzanne?
I think the fact that people signed on for this webinar shows their interest in reaching this shopper and shows this recognition that this is an important group of women to be speaking to. And we're speaking to them every day. So we're happy to help and share insights and help companies, as we do, connect with her and activate her. And thank you, everyone, for sticking with us during that technical difficulty. And thank you, John, for pitching in there.
No problem. And thank you all again for listening. Until the next time, this is John Karolefski signing off for All You and CPG Matters.